Hi everybody, it's Todd again for Armsportvideos, and we're still in Manchester, England. And sitting beside me now is Michael Todd from Arkansas. Michael, how you doing?
Very well, very well.
Nice to see you. So, what are you doing in Manchester, first of all?
I'm over here competing in the Battleground, which I guess is Neil's version of trying to pick out the next #1 contender or whatever. I don't actually know his format, what he wants. I know it's like mini super matches, each round 2 out of 3. Round 1, 2 out of 3, round 2, and then the championship rounds 3 out of 5.
Okay, so it's 2 out of 3. Whoever you match up with.
Single elimination, 8-man bracket. First round is a 2 out of 3. Winner moves on.
Okay.
Second round is 2 out of 3, and then the 2 winners of those move on to the championship round to be, I guess, the heavyweight battleground champion or whatever.
Okay, and you mentioned contender. So what is that? Does that lead up to something else?
That's what I was asking Neil a while ago, and he said that's his plan, to take out, to kind of give credibility to the next opponent.
Okay.
Well, who is this guy? Well, he won the heavyweight division of the battleground last time, so.
Okay, so let's say you were to pull Devin Lorette. So here's how you
to beat Travis, and then, I win the battleground. Maybe, with a lot of work on my part, I'd be a good match for him later. 'Cause I was saying a while ago, like a couple years ago, people thought Devin and I'd be a good match, and it's like he's progressed in the sport and I've regressed, so I went backwards.
You think you've regressed, dude?
Oh yeah, there's no way I got a match for him now. I mean, he's too strong for me right now.
Okay.
But maybe one of these days.
Okay. So do you already know who your matchup with against tomorrow?
My first match is Tommy Kakara or something. I don't know. He trains with Johan Lindholm from Sweden.
Okay.
So if I can get past him, I believe they're saying that the Hungarian guy will probably win. Big, heavy, big forearm, strong guy. And if I get past him, more than likely, I'm pulling Johan Lindholm in the finals.
Okay. Okay, so that's that. So how long have you been arm wrestling?
I started wrist wrestling in 1990. You lock your hands in the middle, you put them to your forearm.
Yeah.
I was just messing around in high school, and I found out about an event. I went to it. Like Devin, I took a 3rd place in my first event.
Okay.
But I was hooked. My first competition, I was like, well, this is what I want to do. Did that for about a year, and then I was like the state champ. So, at 18 years old, I'm feeling like I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof, So I go like a year without getting beat. I go to my first professional arm wrestling tournament. And my first match, I just get smoked like a little girl. It was humiliating. I had no back pressure. I had no idea what arm wrestling was about. And this guy just top rolled the shit out of me. So the next match, had no idea who the guy was. His name was James Anderson. He's actually like a reigning national champ for one of those organizations or something. And Robert Redden had been training for 3 years to beat this guy. Well, Robert put him on the B side of the bracket. We were on the B side together. He hit me in the hook. I caught him and ended up beating the guy. And Robert goes, "My God, you know who you just beat?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." I didn't want to lose. I lost my first match, so I ended up taking 4th at that event. Well, Robert Redden, he's like, "You're pretty good. I could teach you some technique. You get pretty good at this." And I'm going to nationals in 4 weeks. I was going back to college, and I had the choice to either, pay my tuition to go to college or go to the national championships, and I went to the national championships instead.
No way!
Yeah, 92 nationals in McLean, Virginia. Dieted down to 176 pounds, weighed in at 174, and I think I took 6th or 7th or something. I was in Cobra's class that year. That's back when he was on top of his game, and I was just hooked from then on. Started running down to Robert Redden's house down in Louisiana every, once a month or something for a tournament. And I'd go down there and train with those guys, him and Craig Touye, and had a pretty big group down there. And the next year, I think I took 3rd at the Nationals in the 220s.
I was going to say, I can't even imagine you at 176 pounds.
Oh, I was an Ethiopian. It was sad.
So then, hold it, the next year you're competing in the 220s.
Yeah, I went from 176 to 220s the next year. Actually, what happened is I missed the 98 class, and I was like, the hell with it, so I pulled 220s.
Okay.
And I took 3rd, but the guy who won didn't go. Scott Bro took 2nd, and so there I was. Went to Edmonton, Alberta for the World Championships in '93. Actually, it was sit-downs. I actually beat Mike Gould at that tournament.
Okay, yeah.
I was a 20-year-old kid then, and I just kept doing it, man. I've been hooked ever since, and had a little hiatus from '96 to 2000, got back into it. Won a few unified national titles back in 2000, 2001 before they really counted, you know what I'm saying? People, I say you're national champ, but nobody even gave you any credit because it was unified nationals. AAA was the one to win.
It was the one to win.
Yeah. And then I won the 2002 by beating Robert Redden, and to win it, I beat Mike Bowling. So I got a little bit of credibility then.
Sure.
Because I was generally 198 pounds. Like in 2001, 198s, in 2001, 198s, and then I missed 198s again. and went to 220. Because, I mean, naturally, even when I was 198 pounds, I was a fat 230 walking around, and then I'd cut to make 198 because I like to eat, you know. And then missed the 220 class, and I was like, the hell with it. I missed the 198, so I pulled 220s. And actually, that's a story. We were driving to Springfield, Illinois for Tony Coley's tournament. It's an outdoor event anyway, 105 degrees.
That was his Unified National?
Yes, it was horrible. But I'm driving in my minivan, which my air conditioner didn't work. You turn the air on, it'd blow heat out. So it was me, Tanya, Jane Smith. There's like 8 people. It was humiliating. It was horrible because we're going on a cruise. As soon as this is over, we're going to fly out of St. Louis and take a cruise. So we got all of our vacation luggage and shit with us. We get halfway there in my minivan, the transmission goes out in it.
Oh, no.
I'm like, well, son of a bitch. So we get to rent a car place, and all they have is like a little 4-door Cavalier, and it may not even been that big a car. I don't know. So we had like 8 people crammed in this little Cavalier driving up this. And at that point, I was starving myself to make weight. I was making 98s. Man, all that shit happened. I said, to hell with it. I just started eating. I was like, I'm pulling 220s. So I got up there, and Robert Redden was, like I said, the guy that actually started teaching me how to arm wrestle. And we always thought, that if I could get him in a hook, I could beat him. But he's had a big hand, and, he could top roll me more likely and everything. I'd beat him the year before left-handed, but I'd never had a win on him right-handed. And I sat up with him, and I just slipped with the strap. I'm pretty sure we slipped with the strap, and I just top rolled the hell out of him. And Mike Bowling comes up to me and goes, holy crap. He goes, you just messed up my whole day. I was going to top roll you and hook Redden, and now you top rolled Redden. Now I'm at, And then Mike and I went into a pretty good hook, and I ended up beating him. Later on that year, I was going to the World Championships that he held in 02 in Illinois. I actually have had a lot of injuries with my right arm, and I'm about to tell you why. I missed weight, 198 pounds, missed weight at the GNC Show of Strength. Okay. And so I didn't get to pull. So afterwards, the next day, I pulled Ron Bath because I always wanted to pull against Ron. Well, we got up on the table, and we got, I think we strapped or something. We got tied up into a really good match. Like I said, I wasn't like 205 or something, and Ron was he just won the Show of Strength. We got tied up into a pretty good match, and I was sitting in there, I was trying to pull, and I felt, and I was like, holy crap, that hurt. But I thought it was just tendons. I had no idea. Well, that was the week before the WAF Worlds. Okay. So I go up there, and I've got no hook whatsoever. So I'm just top rolling people. Well, then that Mamuka, whatever dude from Georgia, Russia, whatever, ends up just slamming me into a hook, and I got nothing. So I end up taking second at the Worlds, which my theory is, had I not pulled Ron the week before, I think I could, because my hook was where I was strong at, Yeah. So I think I could have probably won that WAF Worlds that year. Well, for like a year goes on, now I keep pulling. End up going to the doctor and find out that I've got 30 or 40 fractures in my elbow, and that was the first one that Ron gave me that day. And I think it's because I dehydrated myself so much to make weight that I guess it made my little bones or whatever a little brittle, and I got up there against Ron, and he broke that sucker. Oh, and I didn't realize it. It's just my elbow just fractured all to hell. So then the next year, I win the Unifieds at 198 left-handed because my arm was still broken right-handed. They have all these fractures and stuff. So I get my ass kicked right-handed, but I win the left-handed at 198. Well, then I just go on badass mode. And, I was like super lean. At 198 looked great. Then we went on like a little thing, went up to Branson. My wife loves to go to Branson, go shopping. We go to Branson. And then I'm just there to hell with my diet, and I can't get back on track. So I'm like 240 or something. All fat, because if you 198, you go to 240, you look like shit. So I'd qualified for the Worlds in Ottawa, Ontario at 198. Well, I'm like, shit, I got to lose 40 pounds, and this is like 2 weeks out. So I just start cutting. I'm doing everything I possibly can. I get to Canada, and John Ruggiero had some issues with coming across the border or something, so he was a qualified 242 guy. I do everything I possibly can. Like everything. Enemas, it works, trying to make weight. I had no solid food in like 5 days, no water in like 3 days, all dehydrated, weighing at 204. I can't make 98s. And I was like, there's just no way I'm going to make it. So they're like, well, there's an opening in 242. Oh, shit, I'll jump in there. So I end up just crushing everybody left-handed, real fast shoulder rolling people. Yeah. I'm like, man, this is awesome. Then they got Ibrahim, whatever, the baby-faced Russian. Yeah. Well, he's in my class, so he just humiliates me. I try to hook him. Wow, slams like a little girl. So then I come back up, and I was thinking about just forfeiting my last match. I was like, I don't want this dude to hurt me. And then somebody said, well, why don't you try to top roll him? All right. Wow. And now that shit's on YouTube. Some dumbass put that on YouTube. So it just shows me getting my ass kicked. But So there's two, what I feel could have been world titles for me, WAF world titles, you know, legit shit. But, you know, I got fat and I didn't pull 98s. And then the year before, I pulled the week before I was supposed to go. So I think I've screwed myself out of a couple of gold medals at the Worlds.
Okay.
But, yeah, so I've been fighting this injury in my elbow for a while.
So have you had it fixed or no?
No, it's as straight as it goes, and this is as far as it comes back. That's it.
Man.
So I've got a little crazy George thing going, but
Yeah.
except I can't arm wrestle quite as well. My shit hurts when you start pushing on it.
I think
So
we're going to make this a new medical term, to a crazy George thing happening.
yeah, more than likely. But yeah, then I always felt like I lifted weights for years to stay at 198 pounds because I felt like that was where I needed to be in arm wrestling, was 198. Well, in 2000, sorry, in 2004, I'm like doing all this shit. In 2004, I allowed myself to get up to about 240 pounds. Had about a 41-inch measuring waist. I mean, people don't know that I've been fat because I don't ever leave the house. You know, I'll just keep my fat ass at home. I will just not go to tournaments or nothing. And people are like, you've never been fat. I'm like, no, I've been fat. And so I'm going to get on track. I'm going to get healthy and everything. So I got back down to about 189. And then I started taking pro hormones. That's when pro hormones were illegal and stuff. I started taking pro hormones and this and that and keeping my diet clean, just upping the calories. Got up to like 209 and was real lean. You know, and I was like, well, shit, I'm not going to lose 10 pounds of muscle to go back. So basically, I've been big ever since, or started going up ever since.
So big. So what are you now?
I'm 240 now, but I was 270 last year.
Yeah. So now is it 240? Is this a comfortable weight for you, or you still? You're talking about yourself being fat. Do you consider yourself fat right now, or?
Well, I mean, the traveling makes me retain a lot of water.
Yes.
Like before I left, I looked amazing. You know, if I could have just like teleported myself over here, that would have been cool. But yeah, I don't know, man, and that's my problem. That's why I may never become great, you know, because I care too much about how I look. I feel like if I was to go 270 or whatever, I think I could be, you know, some competition for Devin or somebody. You know, I think I'm at that level. At that, you know, when I'm training, I'm big, I'm strong. I'm definitely more powerful when I'm bigger, but pound for pound, I'm actually stronger now.
So let me ask you this though. So if you're at 240 and you're calling yourself fat.
I mean, 240, I feel fit. I feel
right
fit,
now?
yeah.
Okay, so if you were putting on 50 pounds and you call yourself fat, would Tanya say you were fat? What you see when you look in the mirror is
Tanya might say I'm fat because we're both so physically fit. But you know, no, but the average person would be like, oh yeah, you're not fat. You know, you can still see some outline of smash. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking fat ass, you know. But to me, I was a short fat kid growing up, so I got serious psychological issues about being fat. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not a debate. It's one of those things. I always like, do I want to get really lean, or do I want to just say the hell with it and get huge? Because I mean, when I was 270, I thought about going 300. Oh, and I mean, and here I'm talking to Devin yesterday, and he's talking like 10 years from now, man, I'm gonna be 300 pounds. I'm like, shit, dude, I'll be 300 pounds in 10 weeks if I quit watching what I eat. And that,
be a year to 300.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, it's bad. I've got a severe eating addiction, and if I just didn't care, I mean, I'd be a Woody. I'd be a Don Underwood.
Yeah.
Hey, Woody.
Okay, so I just want to touch on a couple things. So it's been talked about on the board before. So, and I've seen a bit of video. So you and Ron over the past few years have had some incredible wars, and then there was, I think it was the NAL. Yeah. They thought you were going to get him, and he still came back again.
Can you tell you what happened at that?
Yeah.
I was overconfident. That's what happened. I was talking to John Brzezinski and Bob Brown and Kevin Bongard the night before. I'm like, man, I'm so strong. I'm going to top row Ron the first match. I'm going to hook him the second match. And the third match, I'm going to shoulder roll it. I'm going to make him look like shit. And, yeah, that didn't happen.
No.
You know, I really feel, honestly, looking back at it, if I'd have just bent wrist pressed him match one, I think I'd have beat him 3 straight.
Okay.
Because, I mean, after him laying on my arm for 20 and 30 seconds a match, when I decided to bent wrist press him, I ended up winning. You know? So I feel like if I'd have done that first, I'd have pushed him. I mean, I had over a 500-pound bench. I was strong. My arm was relatively healthy. I just was overconfident. I really was. I thought I was just going to crush him. Because the Ron Bath that I had pulled previously, now, if you let Travis tell it, the 220 Ron Bath and the 240 Ron Bath are no different.
Okay.
In my experience pulling Ron Bath, the 220-pound Ron Bath, I would have crushed that day.
The 240-pound
The 240-pound Ron Bath was just a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for me to be that cocky with him, you know, I felt like if I'd have just tried to bent wrist press him, I think I could have won 3-0. Okay. Wouldn't have been pretty. I'd still been critiqued about, you know, having my wrist back and doing a Jerry Caderet press on him. You know, I would have got criticized for it, but at least I would have won. But I mean, that's back when we thought the NAL was going to be the next big thing.
Yes.
You know, so I'm sitting there looking at it because the Biotech people love me. They were like cheering for me to win because I think if I'd have won, I actually could have secured maybe a $30,000 endorsement or something because Travis was saying that was what was up there, you know.
Okay.
But you know, I've basically shot myself in the foot in this sport numerous times. So I gotta reprioritize.
Okay, so then, I mean, I don't know if that was after that or before. So I saw you here in Manchester.
That was a month after when I beat Tars.
Was okay, yeah. You had a big super match here with Taras.
Yeah.
So how did that go?
Well, that was kind of, in my opinion, Neil Pickup calls me up and says, we want you to pull Taras Evikin. I'm like, so you just want me to get my butt kicked, basically. You know, I figured they really just wanted me to come over to make him look good.
Yeah.
Because I'd pulled Ron so well. I had won, you know, I've been the heavyweight national champ in the U.S. for, you know, for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, I've won either 231s at Triple A's or 242s at Unifies, whatever. I win that every year. And I figured, hey, they just wanted me to come over to, you know, make an example out of me or something.
Okay.
Well, so I get here, and I'm like, no, there's no way that dude's going to pull the world championships the day before he's supposed to pull me. And sure enough, he's pulling. I'm like, you idiot. You know, I mean, that's just, so I took that to heart, like he was just disrespecting me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I was like, there's just no way you're going to pull that tournament and then come beat me. And, so the first match, I set up to top roll him, and actually I thought we had a very even slip top roll. He called me for an elbow foul. The next one, I was not very comfortable with his hand, and he got on top of my hand and just kind of pushed me down. I was like, okay, back to the bent wrist press, you know, so I dove in with that a couple times. Well, he ends up fouling out match 2, found out match 3, and so I'm up 2-1 and hadn't even pinned him yet, you know. So I was getting kind of tired of that because I wanted the match to keep going because I knew once I stopped the match I was going to pin him. Now, understand that the 220-pound Taurus I pulled was not the monster that Devin pulled, you know, a month earlier.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you could look at the pictures and he was way beefed up more when he was pulling.
Well, and also, and,
So-
you know, and he did just come off pulling the world, so
Oh,
it's
yeah.
going to take a toll on him.
I have to think so.
Yeah, I would think.
But I mean, like we were saying earlier, I mean, if he obviously thought he could win. He obviously thought he could do both. You know, he wasn't gonna because I think, you know, I don't know what his contract was, but I got paid more for winning than I did for losing.
Okay,
So,
sure.
you know, so it was definitely some money on the line. But yeah, I mean that worked out real well for me because, you know, once I stopped him, you know, I knew I could win. And then match 4, I got the pin on him. That's my cell phone. Do we
Your
need?
cell phone, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Just throw that to me real quick.
Okay, so in the end, so what happened with Taras? What was the final
I
score
ended
of
up
the
winning
match?
5-1.
5 matches to 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last
Oh,
3, I got the pin on him.
So you were able to get pins
Yeah.
on him. Okay.
Well, the 4th round, I pinned him in a real tight match. Match 5, he actually went to hook me, and it stopped my bent wrist press. We got into a little bit of battle. He ended up elbow fouling, and then I faked like I was going to hook him, and I just slammed him with the bent wrist press.
Okay.
And then match 6, I think I timed the go perfectly. You know, I just smoke him in a shoulder press. And when he thinks it's over with. But then they pull me back up there, and they're like, no, false start. So then I'm like, well, what the hell? It's match 6. I've already won, so I'll try to top roll him. So I go up, and I re-grip one time, and I hit him straight over to the pad. Instead of buckling back, I buckle him down. So I've gotten really good at the pause on my DVR or my DVD player because I'm like, look at that, I'm top rolling the hell out of Tarzan. I'm actually going to steal that, take a picture, put it on my MySpace. You know?
Yeah, sure. Okay, and so then what we talked about earlier, so that brings you up to another rematch with Ron that you said you were a
Yeah.
bit cocky
Actually,
about.
that match right there got me an invite to come to Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, the Italian representatives there is like, hey, would you like to come to Italy and face our overall champ? I'm like, sure. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's not very good. You'll kill him. I'm like, okay. And then I get over there like, oh, yeah, our champion's going to destroy you. You're not strong enough. He's going to kill you. And I'm like, oh, what's up with these sandbags? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I get there, and the guy's actually really strong. I actually win that whole series. The first 3 matches, he fouls out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he can't pin me, so he keeps fouling. So, I mean, it's a 3 out of 5 match. You got to pull all 5, but I win 3-0 just from him fouling. And then I get the 4th and 5th pin on him.
Okay.
But, because that was pretty humiliating because my wrist was folded back. But then, so I do that, and then what do I do next? Yeah, I guess the next thing, I bulk up to that 270, and I'm like, yeah, this is on now. I'm strong. And then I go to the Arnold, and Harold Owens beats me on first match. So I was like, what the hell? But then the next day, I'm thinking, you know, because Marcio had lost to John because he got double fouled, but he was buckling John's wrist every time. So this is me and Marcio first round. First on day 2,
day
the
2?
first match, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, I just got beat by Harold. He got beat by John. Everybody's going to expect him to beat me. And it's another funny thing. We hit, and we both, you know, he kind of hits me about right here. He gets my wrist a little bit, hits, And he's hit me about right there every time. And then I just start low posting on him with my wrist folded back and start coming back. And then I fold his wrist all the way. Great picture of him all twisted like this on my wall at my house.
Oh, yeah?
And then I come up and shoulder press him real fast. Well, then I pull maybe Mark McPhail.
Mark McPhail?
Yeah, pull him. That guy is surprisingly strong.
Very strong, isn't he?
He got a forearm about that long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And a small little hand.
He dove on me hard in the shoulder, and I actually had to hold him right there. Of course, he's saying it was parallel PM, but it wasn't even close. But I'm holding on to him like that, and then I pull back through him, and then I got to pull Ryan Espy, and we slip and go to the strap, which I mean, my top row is actually relatively good. It's just no one ever sees me do it. Actually, let me rephrase that. My intentional slip, top row, go to the strap. It's pretty good.
That's good.
That's actually pretty good.
That's a whole different move.
Yeah, completely different. And then because I ended up beating Ryan Espy, and then I got to pull Harold Owens again. Because I'm so mind messed up from losing to him the day before, because I had been beating Harold for like the last few years.
Yeah.
When I was 250 and 230 and being 270 and losing, I was like, what's going on here? So I was just going to dunk my wrist and slip out and get in the strap so I could bust him. Well, I hit like this, and he holds on to my thumb. And then he jabs into my arm to get around behind it. And I think that's what's injured this part of my right in here.
Okay.
Oh, it's been severely damaged since then. I mean, it hurts bad. But he actually elbow fouled like that high, and he got the win on me, so I got eliminated. And then I was thinking, well, okay, maybe Harold's gotten better. And then his next match, Ron discrushes him. So I'm like, well, I'm a bum. You know, I mean, it'd been different if Harold would have gave Ron some kind of match.
Yeah.
Because I'm guaranteed on that day, at that Arnold, I was the strongest person there. I just screwed myself. I mean, I should have never lost that first match to Harold. I've got a very good excuse for why I lost, but we won't go into that.
Okay. So, because I know Mark McPhail felt pretty good about the match he had with you.
Yeah.
And I mean, we in Nova Scotia, we always knew how strong he was.
Oh, yeah.
But he hadn't got a chance to test himself a lot outside of the guys he pulls in Canada. So it's actually good for him to. And just looking back at it, I mean, did you out-muscle him? Did you out-arm wrestle him?
I think I pulled through his shoulders what I did.
Okay, is that how it worked?
Yeah, he was, and I'm really bad about this because, like when training, I'll pull a guy and I'm like, damn, that guy's strong.
Yeah.
And then he'll pull somebody else and that guy will kill him.
Okay.
My problem is I allow people to get into their strongest spot.
Yeah.
And then I feel their power. Where if you're pulling a match, the guy's going to try to keep you out of your strongest spot. So someone that I may feel is very strong may suck against somebody else.
Okay.
So what happened is I've kind of got this bad problem that I'll let somebody get in the really sucked in deep spot.
Yeah.
And then I realized that his was pretty strong. So
Yeah.
I actually had to work to get him out of it, which sucked.
Okay, so now we're here in Manchester, and you got your battleground tomorrow. So now, what does the future hold for Michael Todd? What do you have planned?
Man, actually, I turned down a PAL contract 1.5 years ago because I thought the NAL was going to blow up.
Okay.
I would prefer to just do challenge matches.
No more tournament
I
style?
would prefer to just because I suck at tournaments. I mean, to be honest, I'm a guy who, if we're pulling 2, 3, 4, 5 match, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, even if you can beat me the first match, I'm going to take enough out of you to where you probably won't win the second match. You know, I'm an endurance type person, and unless you're just strong enough just to blast through me, I'm going to make a war out of it. And I just refuse to accept the possibility that somebody wants to win more than me.
Okay.
So once the match stops, I expect to win, you know.
Yeah.
Which is why I believe a couple of years ago, Devin and I would have been a good match because both of us pulled till we're done. We have nothing left.
Yeah.
So I thought that would have been kind of interesting. But
So when you, I mean, I've been at practice with Devin when he's come to Nova Scotia, and just a couple hours on the table, just guy after guy after guy, and Devin just keeps pulling and keeps pulling and keeps pulling. And it's not about winning; it's about he's building his endurance, his strength. Because he let me try anything I wanted, and then would just kind of suck you into where he wanted you to be. And but like for a couple of hours nonstop. So you train the same sort of way on the table?
Actually, my training's not. I don't have like by the end of practice, I'm actually losing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, and, you know.
I mean, by the 121-pound kids top rolling me. You know, that's how bad my practices get. You know, but and actually, Devin asked me what kind of club we have down there, and Jane Smith's a couple hours from me. We never get together and pull. Chris Chandler just moved down. We haven't been doing as much pulling as we need to. I mean, because Chris is an incredible young man, but he's just got so much potential that, you know, he doesn't know if he wants to arm wrestle, bodybuild, MMA, or powerlift, whatever.
Sure.
So he doesn't want to do a lot of pulling because it messes up his gym, you know.
Okay.
And then my stepson, he's actually 19 years old. He'll be 20 in August, and he's like our state champ the last few years. He's pretty strong. He comes over and pulls every once in a while. But I don't really get to have a lot of table time, and that's what everybody who's top guy says. You know, me, I used to just lift weights from tournament to tournament.
Okay.
You know, I know how to arm wrestle, so I'm just going to get stronger.
All right.
You know, so And, you know, that took me so far. And then, like I said, without progressing in strength, that's what's hard, you know. Devin was talking about measurable gains, you know, consistent gains. And I don't see that anymore because, I mean, last year I was 270, moving really heavy weight and strong. Now, I do feel that my hand's stronger now because I'm doing a lot of rope climbing and thick-handled stuff. But, you know, my numbers in the gym have just plummeted compared to where I was. So that's a hard thing to take, you know. So, and I don't know if I have to be this big bench or big, strong guy in the gym to be a great arm wrestler. But, so, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, I win tomorrow.
Yeah.
Neil wants to put me up against somebody else, and so we'll
So this
see.
is what. So you turned down the PAL contract a year and a half ago. So you would like to see another offer?
Oh yeah, from somebody or something, or just like last weekend, I had actually considered going after the Triple Crown.
Okay.
And I was going to go because I didn't go to the Harley. You know, my dad passed away a couple months ago, and that kind of I didn't know what I was going to do. You know, I didn't know, and I was surprised that I stayed on track with my nutrition because I was about a week off and I was just gone to hell, and I didn't know if I was ever going to get back on track, you know. And so I missed the Harley because I just wasn't in a good mental state to go to it. I mean, I watched it, and I thought, damn, I think I could have beat Marcia. But, yeah, I didn't go, and so I thought about going to Tahoe, and I was raising money to go, and Neil had kind of offered for me to come over here, and I thought, well, I'll just raise some more money to come to England. And so now I'm here, and I truly expect to win. I know I've got some stiff competition.
Yeah.
Actually did have no idea we was arm wrestling left-handed on Sunday. But, I mean, and actually, my left arm's not that strong, but I've got a really good shoulder roll, so I think I got a shot at winning left-handed, too. So we'll see, but, I mean, I'm going to go home, spend some time with my wife, and, you know, reevaluate a few things, but, I mean, I plan on going to the Nationals to try to win another national title, go to the Worlds this year, but, Neil's talking about coming, you know, to the States and doing a show, and so in my perfect world, I would just maybe do 6 Vendetta-style matches a year.
Okay.
And that's it. I wouldn't.
And that's it.
I mean, maybe go to Mohegan if we had guaranteed ESPN coverage or something.
Yes.
But that would be. I mean, I really winning national titles. I mean, I love to support the sport of arm wrestling, but I really don't care much anymore. You know, I just want to, you know, either go after being the best or just settle in as being a half-ass arm wrestler. I don't know. You know, but I need to do something.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. Listen, Michael, appreciate you sitting down and talking with us.
Right.
Good luck to you tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thanks. That's Michael Todd. I'm Scott McGinnis, and we're out. Thanks.